Bronny can go in front of ESPN.
Nigga, my mama gonna go to war, nigga. I don't give a fuck how old she is or how old I am. So if I got a pops, that nigga gonna do this. Well, he better do this. That's right.
Yeah. But now we're opening the door for all of these parents to start coming out and protecting their kids.
If you think that's bad, wait till you see Shadoon.
Right, it's about to
you know Deion
already
none of that.
We all saw what we saw, and you know what we saw.
That's elementary school.
No.
That's all
like,
when
you a teammate, he push him like, man, like, let's go. He puts him like, get off of me. Get off of me. Get off me. No, don't touch me.
Was it worth the $30,000? Now?
In the moment. In
the moment.
Use up.
You remember?
Was it bingo night or was it? 44. You know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But I'm gonna keep it high level. This is gonna just give you the beats. And I give you my opinion at the end on all of these topics. But what's going on, the core issue, is the carriage rights fee.
First of all, start off the right way. Exactly. Let me start out like this. This is why I'm broke and you got money. this whole Dak Prescott saga.
What are those? On the field, I got metric after metric. He's a winner. Okay, he's number one in all categories for the Dallas Cowboys first 5 seasons. Off the field, unquestionable character. Like, the only thing you got on Dak Prescott is, I am undefeated.
Oh, come on. And me playing basketball, and I just want to light up.
He's getting up.
And show, yeah, we doing this for real.
He's
I want to go rebound.
This one?
Cut that up. I got a match. This boy, it's wet time. That's what I do.
I still don't know why this is a pick, except exceptional play by the defender. Look at that. 2 dudes reaching, and then he comes between them and say, let me split this bunk bed. And I'm out of here. Shotgun snap, slips. Oh, that's a sack on your first play ever in the NFL. Y'all know your nightmares came true. You're like, God dang. Oh, yeah, this ain't it. Look at this blitz right here.
I mean, he only knows so much what he's reading off stats, off paper. I mean, everything's good on paper. But I would always love to hear it from a player because they play the game.
What about a journalist? Like, being real, NARPs are journalists. Like, you're from that pool, right? So imagine somebody just said, you didn't play the game. I don't want to hear it.
She would have a living room full of people at about 10 p.m. probably every other Friday or Saturday. Come up here and I already know what they want, and I got to sing whatever song I got.
Did you say song. Sing, not rap? You said sing, huh?
Sing. Yeah, they ain't trying to hear no rap. They ain't trying to hear no rap. Yeah.
You think you can do something with that? Hey man, Michael Jordan too light in the tail.
Okay, you know what, big dog?
Yes.
I ain't light in the tail. If you want some of this, let's go one-on-one right now.
Let's get
Everyone's playing the hits, but I'm a DJ. And one thing I know from my DJing experience is that you don't just play the hits. You play things that people haven't found out about yet. Discovery. Not up to me. I don't have this ego where I'm a buck, talk trash, and be like, yo, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm gonna be like this. All right, I got enough talent. I got enough belief in me. I know what I want to do. Yep, let me go do it. We here. Let's go. Let me stop. Stop and breathe. Stop and think. Respect to all y'all already starting the day off with your boy. We gonna get into this. We are packed. This show is jammed. I actually always overpack for this show. So there are always gonna be some topics I leave on the cutting room floor just because the last thing I want to do is actually start talking, and then we get to like an hour. I'm like, yeah, so how y'all doing? You know what I mean? Just reading the chat the whole damn time. Nah, we going to get into it. So what's cracking like a mackin' from the jack into the back end? All right. I don't even know if that's what they really say in that song, but that's what I took from it. I have never memorized any song ever word for word. Not lying. Not even the Star Spangled Banner. Like it begin, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail? Maybe. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know my fight song from Columbia. I don't. Everybody be doing it. Roar, lions, roar. And I just, right here, I go. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And it's not my ear because I got my eardrum poked out in college. Before college, I don't know any song word for word. Michael Jackson, nope. Run DMC, nope. Can't do it. Don't even care, really. It ain't my song, shoot. I just don't know every word, but I know melodies. I can feel it in the chorus and all that stuff, so let's go. All right, let's get into this show right now because Lane Kiffin is feeling it, and he wants to tell everybody because y'all came at him, criticized him, killed him for his decision. He want to tell you why he made the decision and who told him to make it. Let's go.
When John Carmouche and Verge and Julie came in and met with me, I know I keep saying it, it was just different. The feeling was different, and as I sat there and I told the story at the press conference, I was torn. And when I called Coach Saban and talked it through with him, he said, Lane, you'll always regret if you don't go to LSU. It's the best job in America. And when he said that, that really made the decision for me. And as I've looked at it, it has pushed me. It has got me out of a comfort zone that we were doing amazing things, but you come here and you feel the power of the place, and it drives you every day to even go to another level.
Blah, blah, blah. Two things jump out right quick. One is, damn, oh, you a snitch. Like, doggy, don't be trying to put me into this if I'm Coach Saban. Your ass did that. I told you a lot of things you didn't do. A lot of things you didn't do. And all of a sudden, the thing you want to do, I say, yeah, you better do it. You all of a sudden going to say, I made you do it, or I'm the reason, or I'm the tipping point. Nah. That ain't how it work. But two, ooh-wee. Coach Saban, he really called you out. You know you coached at Alabama. You know you're going to be known as the Alabama coach. You over there telling this dude, oh, that's the best job in the world. LSU is? Really? Nah. I mean, that sound is not profound. We've heard it before, but at the same time, just lets you know how uncomfortable people are with even doing something that's good for them, let alone maybe even better for them. We'll see. Is this going to be better for him than Ole Miss job? It's no guarantee because the expectations are higher, right? The pressure is more. And he may go there and just be the same guy. You can't be the same guy. We ain't on the same team. This ain't Balboa Park and Rec. This is an AAU team. You're on the Little Legends now. You're a nationally ranked team. You number one in the country, like our team is right now. Yeah, 10-year-olds, though. Who cares? But they're number one in the country. This ain't Balboa Park. This ain't Ole Miss. This LSU. Come up in here with 2 losses if you won't. Come up here with 3 losses, you won't be here. I'm going to tell Bubba we ain't going to give you that NIL you need to get them 5 stars. They don't need no 5 stars no more. We saw what happened in Indiana. You better watch your back. Over here thinking that Coach Saban going to save your ass. No, he ain't. It's a wrap. All that's behind you, brother. And that's the thing. I would have never made that decision. Because let me just say it for real. Now I'm really sure. I was 100% sure. Now I'm that proverbial 110%. There's a formula, a calculation, almost like a blend of does it qualify? See, I don't think people look at opportunities the right way all the time. They always look at the best opportunity. No. You don't need the best opportunity. You need to make the opportunity the best for you, right? So you need to just qualify. So I looked at that when I was making my college decision. Like anytime I had a free agency decision, I was like, I just need to go somewhere where it's good enough and then I can make it better or the best. I don't need to go to the best because the best is not guaranteed. We got a topic talking about that later. Well, the best is no guarantee. You go somewhere that was yesterday's best and you thinking it's going to be tomorrow's best and today it sucks or today it ain't it. Look at Alabama, right? Look at Ohio State. Indiana the champs, y'all. Look at the SEC. The Big Ten are the champs the last 3 years. Like so a lot of times we get locked into like what we think is the best and it's just not. It's just not. It passed by. And I think that Lane Kiffin should have stayed there because it was good enough. You could have been an Indiana of the SEC. But now you playing like, oh, blue blood. We got the – and look, he got a quarterback room that's worth $7.5 million, and he got 3 dudes that are studs that all said yes. So it's working. At least in the offseason, it's working. But the same thing you got to think about, dog, you have no room for error. No margin for error. You mess up, you messed up. It ain't no, all right, well, we'll. And then Indiana just showed you don't need all that. Go grab you like 14 James Madisons. Go back to where you coached before, Central Florida or South Florida. Go back there and get 20 dudes that you used to recruit. They still there. 8th year seniors, super senior asses. Go get them and come back. That's what you need to do if you're Lane Kiffin. But nah, he didn't want to do all that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, let's get into this right here because, look, speaking of Indiana, a lot of people got to eat some crow. And no one better than Paul Finebaum. You know I got a thing for Paul Finebaum. Go ahead and eat this crow, bro.
There can be debate on whether Indiana had the best season in college football history, but there can be no debate. It is the greatest story in the history of the game. And what made it even more amazing is how people misunderstood what Curt Cignetti was doing in Bloomington.
Oh, really, people? Nah. We got receipts. On this show, we've been watching you, bro. You just yesterday on this show said that was a bad decision. They should have paid him. They should wait. He ain't the one. Oh, now people. See how they slick.
But let me assure you, nobody was more incorrect in understanding that process
there you go.
than me.
There you go.
Almost everything I said throughout the season about him and about Indiana was wrong, and it was an epic failure on my part. There was no question Indiana was the best team, and yes, the Big Ten is the best conference in the country.
Oh, say it.
We congratulate Coach Cignetti, Indiana, and the Big Ten for an extraordinary run.
Blah, blah, blah. I love that 8 Mile, that psycho play where, you take it easy. You go hard on yourself so you think I'm going to take it easy on you? No. Look, it's almost like politics at play. And I know at the end of our show we always do politics, but maybe I should call it culture. I don't know. It's not politics. Because that's just, all we're doing is trying to study the behaviors of patterns of life, sociology, and then we're just trying to align ourselves, and then we want to properly identify it, right? What I love to see is someone's bias. What I love to see is someone pandering. What I love to see is somebody trying to really take care of this big group, tribalism. I love seeing that because then I'm like, it immediately yells out contradiction. It immediately yells out hypocrisy. It immediately yells out something's going wrong. Because one person cannot identify fully with another person, let alone a group. It's impossible. So now you start to see how a team works. That's why we're in the locker room. Because the team is like, look, I know you disagree. I know you disagree. Now, the thing that builds all relationships is trust. So now you're going to have to trust me with your issues. Now you're going to have to trust me with your failures. Now you got to trust me with all your frailties. If you're not going to be vulnerable, this ain't going to work. So that's why I like what Paul Finebaum said, and that's why I showed you this clip. However, it doesn't absolve you from all the times you was trying to kill that dude. And if you were right, you would have won. If you had it your way, the dude wouldn't have been who he is. Isn't that crazy? Like, who's sitting at the top of the sports world right now? Curt Cignetti. And guess what he's like? Oh, they tried to kill me. Right? One of the biggest, loudest voices in college football, in sports, is Paul Finebaum. And he was killing them every day. Every day. So for all you people who love to go racial, that's white on white crime, y'all. Every time I always hear, it's Stephen A. Smith and Ryan Clark. And look, we get it. When they do it, they do it. But also, don't have confirmation bias to the point where you don't see it when it's happening, no matter where it's happening. Okay? It doesn't just happen to where you think it happens. It happens all the time, everywhere. That's a big conversation right now. We probably talk about at the end of the show with slavery. Everybody's like, oh man, Black America and slavery and 400 years ago. And it's like, dog, everybody was a slave before. Have you ever read a book? Not just talking about these recent books, not just talking about Lord of the Rings, not just talking about what you see in a movie too. Have you ever read a real book that they ain't made a movie about yet? And they made a ton of slavery movies, but golly, people would just be saying stuff. You'd be like, dog, okay, and you might as well say you got a heartbeat. Everybody got a heartbeat. All right. So I just want to go in on this because not everyone think it was a fairy tale ending. Not everyone thought it was a fairy tale story, right? And since this guy is smart, and he's the homie, but he's smart, I got to give him love. Now, why I say he's smart? Well, you know he went to Columbia. Let's go.
Can I tell you how I describe this championship? They beat the system. They didn't beat Miami. They beat the system. This ain't no Disney movie. This movie's rated XXX.
Oh, boy.
One you don't want to take the kids to see. I'm telling you, there's nothing good, pure, wholesome about Indiana winning the national championship.
Now, right now, I'm like, this is setting up to be the hottest of hot takes ever. And Rob Parker is a hot take machine. Like, I've caught a ton of clips, and shout out to Kelvin. That's my dog. Young man, that bro right there, that's my dude, most talented guy in the game. We go to church together still, so that's my guy, man. He put us back on it. I'm like, Rob, how you going to spin this into a take? Let's listen.
They're selling this like we reinvented the wheel. We made a better mousetrap that could catch 2 mice at the same time. It's a farce. They paid for a national championship. Other schools now, go look at your alum.
Ohio State did last year, too. I mean, I hope I had the same take. I hope you had the same clip. Duh. Like in NFL, every team pays for a championship. You want to know why? Because we have a salary cap, so that's the maximum. Do you also know there's a salary minimum? Oh, you got to spend 90%. So there's a 10% wiggle room that you can play around in and be creative with, but basically we all paying the same. I saw one Super Bowl, was it 2 years ago? The team that spent the most and the team that spent the least were in it. I think it was Cincinnati and the Rams or something like that. Isn't that crazy? So we all paying. Trust me, you ever been in a relationship, whether you say, hey, let's go to Cheesecake Factory, or you buy her a diamond ring, or you say hello, you want to get a cup of coffee, we all paying. So don't act like that.
Go find your Mark Cuban checkbook. You can do this too. Indiana, which haven't been relevant since Bobby Knight was kicking chairs and pimp slapping students around. This is not that Indiana. There's nothing special here. This could have happened at any school willing to put up $20 million for a coaching staff, $2 million for a quarterback, and guess what?
What?
Top 10 in spending on the players and going to the transfer portal, and any 27-year-old with 2 kids and a wife will gladly put them on the roster. That's how ugly this is.
I thought you were about to say the right thing when you said, ain't nothing good or pure about, and I was like, look at him, starting off right. Then you said Indiana. No, it's college football. Nothing pure or about it and good in the first place. So they got into a nasty, murky system, an ugly game, and they played it better than anybody. Kurt Signetti came into the game, told him I was about to win. Matter of fact, you know what he did? He told Rob Parker, he said, Google me. He told you to Google him, and what did he do? Turn right around and went 11-2 last year, ended up number 8. And then 16-0, Rob. 16-0, smoked everybody. Ohio State, you can get this smoke twice. With, as Rob G just mentioned, second most losing team in FBS history. So the idea that Miami, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, Alabama, all these big teams, and not Alabama, I'll take them out because they win all the time, but some of these schools who've won or haven't won in 20-some years like a Miami, Texas, I don't even know the last time Texas won. And they got a Manning. They got a Vince Young, right? That was lit. That was one of the greatest games ever. My point is, Texas, all these amenities, new buildings, new structure for the players. They got Arch Manning, all that money. They ain't did it. In fact, they didn't look that great this year.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have any 27-year-olds on the team. You're right.
Right. They got 22.8-year-olds. And so the idea that he turned it around so fast, he did it his way, brought in James Madison kids. He didn't bring in Georgia. He didn't bring in Clemson, Ohio State, James Madison kids, and they went in there and got it done. Come on, Rob, you can't hate on that. That's amazing.
Well, Rob can find any way to hate on something. Blah, blah, blah. That is everybody's grandpa. You know how Shannon Sharp is the onk, they say? Well, then he's the grandpa, I say. It's just crazy. I love him, though. Man, it's hilarious. Man, let's just say one thing. You can't hate the player. You can't hate Signetti. You can't hate Indiana. You got to hate the game, NCAA. You know, and the NCAA like, don't hate us. We don't even know what's going on right now. We have no rules. This is the wild, wild west. Where's Kumo D when you need them? They have no idea what's going on. They have no regulation. They have no border, no structure. They just try to change it and say, okay, now the transfer portal has these dates, and now NIL has to be part of the school, and they trying, dog. They know some booster is taking some kid out to STK and saying, look, what it take? What it do? You imagine some old ass booster with a big belly trying to be young with these NIL little ass kids, these YN NILs, and he like, yo, what it take? What it do? He like, it take 5 milli. You ever heard of Lil Wayne? Just start singing that song. A milli, a milli, a milli, a milli, milli. That's what I need. And he like, all right, let's go. It's crazy. And that's the way the game is. Here's another thing you should always remember. I love on this show for us to always dig into perspective, right? We got the time to do it. And I'm the producer. And I'm the talent. So we gonna do it. Check this out. Let's look at this real quick. This is interesting. Let's go to Heisman season comparison. This is not the diss. This is just to show you all things aren't created equal. Look on the side. Joe Burrow went ham. Okay, different. Efficient, effective. Damn. Okay. Whoa. Okay. 60-6. I don't think we ever gonna see that again. What the hell Joe Burrow was on that year? He went from that to not having fun playing football now? Boy, the NFL. The NFL took it out of him. That's crazy. All right, beat it up in the comments. Let's talk about that. What we just been talking about. See where you guys at before we get into Cam Newton talking about what happened to college football and what's changed it all. Okay. We got some spicy nuggets in here. Sean M. says, there's a reason for the term educated Negroes. Oh, God. I know where we're going. We're about to go somewhere racial. Either he going to prop me up or he going to diss me. Exhibit A is here. Talking about reading books, LOL. Are you talking about the ones they burnt down? European education, European ideology? How you know they burnt them down? Someone told you that or you read it? Oh, so you did read something. All right. So what you read? What you read, was it published yesterday? No. Was it published 100 years ago? No. 1,000 years ago? No. And he was like, what publisher? Point is, if you want to find it, you can go find it. Hate when somebody talk about, oh, well, it would. I wouldn't know if they would have. Dog, resources are abundant, but they're not always easily available. So we're going to test your desire. We're going to test your drive. Well, how a kid going to do that? You ain't got to be a kid. That's why family's important. That's why mama and daddy's important. Keep digging. Mama and daddy tell you, you ain't find it yet, keep digging. I had this conversation yesterday with my son. I was getting a little spicy. I had to catch myself. Always remember, one of the best things I heard in advice from Richie P on the Rocks. And On the Rocks is coming back. Don't act like that, y'all. We just taking a little break. We got some changes going on. We got some injection of fuel, all this good stuff. So anyway, Richie P said, always talk to your kids like they don't know anything. Seriously, if you just go at your kid with the mindset like they don't know anything, you'll be a much better parent. Case in point, yesterday, we're playing basketball. We got this new basketball that is a smart basketball. So it tells you when you make it, when you miss, your spin rate, all this crazy stuff. I would do an ad for them, but I got to pay me first. Here's the point. We're doing this. My son is looking for the pump. This is the first time we used the basketball. I said, okay, the pump is right there at the bottom drawer, in the bottom drawer. He is standing in front of the dishwasher. Right next to the dishwasher is what? Anybody? Yes, the bottom drawer. He kept saying, he kept saying, Daddy, I don't see it. I said, you have to duck down and go in the bottom drawer. I don't see a bottom drawer. Oh my God. And then I had to remember, it hit me right then. Talk to him like he doesn't know anything. I said, okay, come out here real quick. We got to work on our directions because this is like sports. When coach tells you something or when you're in class, your teacher tells you something, you got to kind of figure this out, right? We got to have a better wherewithal. There's no drawer by the dishwasher, correct? I mean, under the dishwasher, correct? So there's got to be one next to it. So let's look in there. He went back in there, came in, right back. Here's the air pump, Daddy. Could have went crazy. But the point is, let's stop blaming stuff. Stop. I don't care. I don't care. And I live in the same world you do. So I'm not trying to hear it. If you want to find it, find it. I remember this one time, and not even to blame parents, it's kids too. I remember this one time we were walking down Angeles Vista. We bust a right, was it Vernon, whatever? And we going by the library, View Park Library. We going by the library, and literally one of my boys was like, man, he was just complaining about stuff like the park, or we ain't had nowhere to play basketball because they closed down the school. You can't go there after hours. He's like, we ain't got nowhere to play ball. And then somebody was like, yeah, man, our neighborhood all jacked up. We ain't got nothing. We ain't got no books and stuff. And I was like, and I ain't say it, but then I had to say it. I was like, at first I was like, we just walked by the library. Shut up. What you mean? You ain't been in there. And I was like, no, we just walked by the library. And then that was it. It wasn't that deep. But the point was, if you want it, you're going to go find it. And a lot of times, it has to be guided from the parents, the community, the school. I get it. But let's also, if you really want it. Simple as that. All right, Cam wants it. Cam been through it. Cam may have had the best, excuse you, Joe Burrow, hold my beer, best season ever in college football. And he got something to say.
The transfer portal has allowed any team to have a chance in any given season. And when you factor that in, that's the loophole. Because if you assemble a right team or a good enough team, who's to say Iowa State can't do this next year? Who's to say Vanderbilt can't do this next year? Who's to say that San Jose State, who's to say that Oklahoma couldn't do this? Kurt Cinetti has proven that it's not about the stars.
Yeah.
And even more of the reason of like, who's giving the stars to the stars?
Ooh.
Huh? Who's evaluating high school talent now?
I'm telling you who's doing it. I know one of them for sure. Nerd! Like, he's smart. He just want to be around, like, not clout chaser. He wants the love that comes from famous people, because a lot of these kids now are second generation, even third generation, like pro athletes. So your son, like Gilbert Arenas, his son now just had his debut at USC, but he was just in high school. Like, he gets ranked. Why? Because I want to be around Gilbert. And I want to say that Gilbert's son is the best if he qualifies. So long as he qualifies, like he looks the part, his stats say the part, let's go. I mean, it's a lot of sack chasers. I ain't gonna lie. Just the way it goes.
Yep. And they've always evaluated high school talent. And there have been bums doing that, that know nothing about being a supreme athlete. Just because he looked the part, that doesn't mean he is the part.
Yeah.
So what the transfer portal has allowed and has stripped from the SEC was the ability to say a kid who may be on an SEC roster that says, if I have a person that's in front of me, I'm not binded to stay behind this particular person if I know the greatest thing for me is real reps. I'm going to go somewhere where I'm going to play right away. Lane Kiffin, you're literally making a point or have made a point to say, hey, I just want the recruits. I want budgets to get the recruits. Well, now, with seeing the success of Indiana, now the recruits are like, yo, I'm 5 star. If I'm seeing what Kurt Cinetti just assembled, them stars don't matter, bro. Does your involvement make us a better team? I'm seeing a guy, Charlie Becker, was given number 24.
But number 24.
The Blues.
I doubt.
The Blues.
They were walking around like
the Blues.
God, tell my.
The Blues. Boy, he was giving them straight BB King. Boy, he was giving them BB King. And I feel sorry for him. Everywhere, no matter what the people say, I'm going to find you anyway. Back shoulder fade. All on you.
God, almighty.
You can't call for help because
he was holding everything.
Bro, it's like, bro, what 24? Wait, hold on. We need to play.
Hey, blah, blah, blah. If y'all know what he's talking about, what was the Miami game, right? Was that Miami? Number 24? Yeah. They were targeting his ass. As coach would say, we got that red laser on you. Hey, is this you, 24? They own you. They want you. I wonder why. You better man up. They were targeting him. Anyway, here's the point. I think Cam was talking through this. Sound like Cam was like trying to figure this out as he was talking. Let me help him out a little bit. Because all it did was tell you that all that SEC, all that 5-star stuff, that ain't the highest level no more. We back to real We back to life. We back to reality. The NCAA had us living in some fake reality, some alternate universe. Remember? You don't want to know how they got us all there? They lied to us and we believed it. They start saying that student athletes are amateurs. Yeah, we were living on the amateur planet. Oh, this is different. Big business, but it's not about the money. Oh, it is, but not for the players. They're student athletes. They're amateurs. Yeah. And they suckered us. I don't know how many years, 40, 50? How long was that? You got to remember, if you want to go all the way back, college football started in the Ivy League. I will always give credit where credit is due. Ivy League football started it. Then forever ran it. It wasn't no Alabama out there doing this. It was Yale, Harvard. Seriously. Columbia was in the Rose Bowl in 1932 and won it. Beat Stanford. Yeah, 7-0, something like that. Crazy. Real spit. All of a sudden, the Ivy League says, we good. We've been running this for like 100, 200 years. We good. Now we going to really be student athletes. Now, the reason they did that, they're going to say a lot of stuff, but I'm going to tell you the reason. Because you get more money in this world with your brain than your body. So all this revenue and all this, oh my God, NIL, all this college sports is making a great amount of money. You know what the endowment is of Harvard? You know what the endowment is of Columbia and Yale? 20-some billion. You want to know what the athletic department gets at Michigan? What is it? $500 million, if that? Point is, Ivy League made a smart decision. They followed the money. Boom. Now, all the other schools who weren't thinking like that or didn't have that reputation as a conference that we could sell our brain, they had to sell the body. So they sold sports. And all these damn conferences are selling sports. And then the way that they were able to do it and keep the money is not pay the players. Amateurism. And we bit it. I wasn't alive. I would have told them right then, hell no, they lying to you. Don't go there. Anyway, that's what happened. So now, everybody woke up. Everybody took a flight back from the amateur planet. They like, nah. We pros. We semi-pros. We baby pros. Whatever you want to call us, pay us. So now they're getting paid. That's what happened. So now the veil's been taken off. Everyone knows you get paid. So now you can't hide. Because SEC was hiding like, oh yeah, come here, amateurs. You're the best of the amateurs. You're so close to going pro. If you come here, we'll develop you and you'll go pro. Now they like, I ain't got to go there. I'm going where the money goes. Right? Because I'm going to qualify if I go anywhere and ball. So the money is what everybody was chasing before and hiding it. Now it's out in the open. Transfer portal, open. Portal, open. Simple as that. So your kid, and this is so good because I didn't want my son or daughters to ever be boxed in, whether it was, if they were smart, I didn't want them to only have to go to MIT or, you know what I mean? Like I want them to go other places because there are other locations and they offer other things than just the reputation of the academics. Or if my kids are ballers, I don't want them to have to go to that school. You have to go to Alabama. To daddy. Imagine my son. I mean, this is a blessing, but if my son would have came to me, daddy, I mean, he a 5-star, he killing it, he big as hell, fast as hell, strong as hell, destroying people. Like that can happen, that could not happen, whatever. That's the reality. And he was like, I got to go to Alabama. I got to go to Ohio State. I was like, damn, no Stanford? No, none? No Ivy League, nothing? No? Give me some Vanderbilt at least. No UVA? No Michigan? No Duke? Nothing? No, they ain't good. Duke ain't good. So I'm loving this. I want Indiana to be good. Now, what if your son is a basketball and football player? Oh, snap. Indiana's now something. See what I'm saying? So this is all good for all of us. Beat up in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Oh, you know, on this show, if you're a member or if you give us a super chat, I got to speak on it. Oh, Sean M. is a super chatter. Twice. Let's talk it. Respectfully disagree with you. On what? Oh, but the books you read were regular for readers to conform. Stop blaming but want accountability. I think he won't smoke with me. Dude, I don't care how smart I am. I really don't. I'm just smart enough to do what I need to do in a day. I'm not a competitor in that way. Nope. I'm not a competitor in any of that. If you want the smoke, I can't give you the smoke because you don't control me. So it sounds like you want me. I conformed. or I'm part of, I don't know, some system or what's. You sound like one of them dudes I walk by that got the megaphone. They be talking about, all right, my brothers and sisters. I don't know what you, I don't know. I'm just assuming right now, but you got to be more specific. Send another super chat. But I'm stupid. But send it and be specific, okay? Like SPE-cific. Stop trying to like paint me. Just write it. Write it. FYI, I have no letters like our elder brother Jesus, but I am well learned. Oh, I knew you wanted to compete. You can't compete with my brain. I don't even know what's up there. How you gonna compete with it? It's crazy. I ain't here for that. I'm here for something else like this. Let's talk about the ratings. Y'all want to talk about how nearly 40 million viewers, surpassing all previous Saturday games, including primetime. They made the most watched Saturday NFL playoff game ever. We saw it. We contributed to it. Peak, 51 million viewers. Most watched Saturday telecast on any network since 1994, the Winter Olympics. Woo! We just got to go through some of these hot topics real quick, let you guys know how the game is changing. So since the game is getting bigger and bigger, they changed the Nielsen rating, so that's part of it. Let's just be real. The group setting especially, they stopped saying, hey, I went down to the local pub and only got one rating. They're like, dog, there's 100 people there. So I don't know what they did exactly, but they changed it where it's identifying more of the audience better than ever. They weren't respecting streaming. They weren't respecting stuff like it should have been. Now they are. So love to them. Okay, so you know what happens when the money's coming? The audience is there and is growing. What's going to happen to the game? Let's see what's going on with the NFL. Things about to change, they say. Let's hear it.
I want to tell you guys, though, we're going to push like the dickens now to make international more important with us. Every team will go to 18-2, and eliminate one of the preseason games. And every team every year will play one game overseas. And part of the reason is so we can continue to grow the gap and keep our labor happy, because we're sort of getting near the top here, with the coverage. 93 of the top 100 programs on television are NFL games.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Think about that. It's really amazing. And you look at the size of our crowds versus the other sports, and it's really, and we had that Amazon game on Thursday a couple of weeks ago. 31 million people streamed. And so as long as we can keep growing revenue, we can keep long-term labor peace.
Blah, blah, blah. I know that stung some people when he said labor, and he meant players. He meant labor. He meant labor. I know, it's a game. It's a game. But here's the real. What he's saying is, look, I love you, America. I love you, United States. Let's keep everything going. Let's keep growing here. But let's be real. The room for growth here is getting less and less. And we are not as big overseas as even the NBA. And we destroy them here. So think about it. When we play home games against the NBA, NFL versus NBA, we destroy them. Look at the Christmas ratings. Stop playing with us every weekend. 51 million, 37 million. NBA's happy when they get 6. We destroy them boys. But then we play a road game and we act like we don't know how to play. We up there in London or we in Brazil or something. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But they got inroads. Now look at them in the All-Star game. They got world versus America. What we got? Flag football. Nobody want to watch. What's going on? And we know all these streaming companies. We know they printing money. And they have international reach. If you notice what Netflix is doing right now with sports and sports media, sports podcasts, as it's buying them up, they're releasing them in the U.S. and where? Canada. Little test. Netflix like, look, our brand too strong to be throwing this thing up in Bogota and then y'all nobody watching it. You know what I mean? We throw some World Cup, some soccer over there, they watching it. We throw some American football, they're like, ¿Cómo se dice? So now Kraft and them like, look, let's stop playing. This preseason is stupid. He knows it. Now, it's an easy way to make money in terms of the gate. Open up your stadium, let everybody walk in, buy hot dogs and merch and all that. The game don't count, people leaving in the second quarter. He like, stop that. They don't even have preseason in college football. Why in the hell we got in the pros? Let's make this another real game that's going to be played over there. And not just London, damn it. Not just Germany. Not just Brazil. Not just Mexico. Let's go to Japan. Let's go to India. Let's go to Africa. Take them back home, that labor. Jesus. Woo. Out. And I know like clockwork, some player going to get on his horse. Oh, why they? Dog, it's about money. They're going to give you more money. You're going to go do it, right? All right, so let's start there. How much more? Just know it. They don't know. So that's why people bitch. That's why people complain, because they don't know for real the answer or the solution or the road to it. So they complain. And then they hope through that resistance, y'all will come to a new level of thought and growth. I hate when people do that. But like, dog, stop arguing. You just don't know. I don't know. So let's just stop arguing and figure it out. But boy, ain't nothing worse when somebody doesn't know and they frustrated they don't. Players, you're going to get paid more. It's a real game, okay? You hate preseason pay. I know I hated it. Preseason pay was low as hell. Like, it was a regular job pay. And then you get in the real game, you're like, whoa, this the NFL. So that's where the game is going. And also, let's just pivot real quick and throw a little love, because I know topics like this don't get enough attention. Eric Armstead and his wife, Dr. Melinda Armstead, that's a big-ass dude, founded the Armstead Academic Project 2019 to give underserved youth access to education, mentorship, and wellness resources impacting thousands in Sacramento, the Bay Area, and Jacksonville. Do you know that's the reigning Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year? Now, I was nominated 3 times. I never won it. Now, in part, we never had this either. We didn't have no ceremony or nothing. They gave us a gift certificate and a Chick-fil-A coupon. But now it's a black tie affair. Look at that. Boy, when I got nominated, it was like they sent me a text, I think, maybe. Now look at this. So respect. But I was nominated 3 times, and I love the opportunity to represent the community, represent the team, and opportunity to show people that there's a lot of great work being done by these players. So I want to give Eric Armstead his props and also give me some props too. Thank you. All right. So now let's get to the NFL again. What's going on? Something happened in San Francisco that hasn't happened ever. And I ain't gonna lie, this is a story I've never heard of before. What the hell is going on with Brandon Aiyuk? And this dude is tripping.
I had a follow up on Brandon. It's a guy that you guys made a big investment into. And I know, Kyle, you said that after his injury, it was tough to get him in here and get involved, but it's kind of an unprecedented move for him to forfeit that kind of money. Have you been able to determine why he was so upset, why he wasn't showing up, and just any background you can give on that?
I wish I knew. Can't help you there. Sorry. Yeah.
Has there been a line of communication with him?
There was, but not anymore.
At what point did that snap?
Well, when I'm coaching, I don't hang out in the training room at all. So I don't see guys much that way. But I'd say it officially stopped for me when the last time I tried to get a hold of him and couldn't. And then tried a couple more times and still couldn't.
Think about that. Like, these are your bosses. Like, obviously they have bosses as well, but you report to them. You hear that? You hear that statement? You report to them. And you not reporting? And this is why I love, like in dating, anything, when somebody don't respond back, or they're ghosting, as they say now, punk ass moves. Dog, I mean, I understand getting busy, or you sent the message, you thought you sent it, got stuck in the inbox. Who hasn't been there? But I'm talking about, like, you see him calling, you like, no, I'm good. What? And there's $26 million on the line? I'm going to tell you why he did it, though, after this.
And then that matched everyone else that was trying to get a hold of him and couldn't. And eventually, there's not much of an explanation because it's really hard for us and anyone else to understand. And that's why it's something I've never seen in 22 years of coaching. So it's unfortunate. And it's confusing because it's confusing for all of us. So, but it eventually becomes it is what it is. And you try as hard as you can to fix something that you don't understand. But it's not like we understand it very well still. but eventually you understand that it's not going to change, and you got to move on with your football team, which is always the most important thing.
Damn. All that, and that coffee never moved, and his hand never moved from it. He didn't even get a sip in. God dang. Like, this is crazy, right? It's crazy. Like, who does this? When have you ever seen this? Makes no sense. Let's try to sum it up.
$120 million, and nobody understands how or why he would do this. 15 months ago, Brandon Aiyuk signed the bag of his life with the San Francisco 49ers. This was after months of drama and threatening to leave. The 49ers finally gave him a 4-year, $120 million contract. 7 games into that next season, Aiyuk would tear his ACL and hasn't played a single snap since. All Brandon Aiyuk had to do was communicate, attend team meetings, and he would be getting paid handsomely to do it. But here's where he made a huge mistake. According to Diana Rossini, Aiyuk just stopped showing up. No facility visits, no team meetings. His own teammates are calling him and he's ghosting everyone. So the San Francisco 49ers voided his entire 2026 guarantees.
I've been coaching over 20 years, and I've never been in a situation where a contract's been voided, so it was extremely unusual to me.
We're talking about $26 million gone, and they're already planning to cut him after the season because he's not worth his contract. Now here's the part that makes no sense. When the NFLPA gave him a chance to file a grievance and fight back, he declined. That means he knows he's in the wrong and he's not even going to try to get that money back. Why would a man walk away from generational wealth for his money? Is it mental health? Is it a contract dispute we don't know about? Is it something deeper within the organization? Because you don't just fumble $26 million just because you're bored. But regardless, this is one of the greatest bag fumbles I've ever seen in sports. Make sure you follow and like for more.
All right, we will. We'll follow and like you, but we don't like what we just heard. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take you into the mindset of what Brandon Aiyuk went through. I cannot sit here and give conjecture to what the answer is, what the real reason is, but I can give you some of the reasoning. Okay, so it's very depressing when you get hurt. Now, timing is everything. So Brandon Aiyuk, we know, was going through contract dispute and negotiations for a minute. It felt like forever, but whatever. Finally, he got his bag, right? He got his money at $30 million, right? 4 years, 120, so $30 million. Think about it, though. Already, that's not as much as it was when he signed it, right? What did Jamar Chase and all them other cats get? 35? What is Pickens going to get this year? 40 maybe? Like whatever. So the point is, there's a part of that circling in your head. I don't think that's the main ingredient at all. I'm trying to hide it. But that's part of it. Part of it is, damn, I had to fight to get this, and now that ain't even what I thought it was going to be. Whatever. I'm going to still play. You saw him playing. Then he gets hurt. Now, those relationships, all that time you were fighting for that money, let's just say you look at things differently. You look at people differently. Why? Because GM, I had to hear from my agent how you didn't want to pay me all this money because you said A, B, and C. Now, some people are more sensitive than others. And let me tell you, in any negotiation, because they can't pay you in infinite amounts of money, they have to negotiate, which means they have to bring you down in value, which means whether they're telling the truth or not, they're going to talk about you in a negative way. And your agent is supposed to be the buffer who takes all of that, filters it, and just gives you what you need to be better. Now, I don't know his agent. But the point is, they're going to talk bad about you because they don't want to pay you all that. They got other players to pay. They got a salary cap. This is just the business. So if you sensitive and you ear hustling, or if you sensitive and you actually on the phone, or your mama, Lamar Jackson, or whatever, okay. That's why that phone call to, hey, we going to keep Harbaugh. Really? Okay. Lamar Jackson, your relationships are damaged. They have to be. Because you heard from the GM, and the GM heard from the coach, and the coach talked to your position coach, and they talked to the training room, and they all saying great stuff about you, and they also saying some stuff that ain't so flattering. Next thing you know, you're like, damn, that's how they really feel? And then your teammates ain't going out saying nothing for you except, yeah, he deserved to get paid. And then they talk trash about you, the media, every day. And then you see your teammate pop up, he deserved to get paid. You be like, dog, that's all you got to say? Teammates like, fool, I'm trying to get paid too. They in an impossible position unless they already pay. And then they're like, pay the man. Every now and then you see that. That dude already rich. Now you're on the field. You fighting for people that you just saw fight against you, not fight with you, not fight for you. They fought against you. Now you're on the field. You balling. You doing your thing. I'm going to show these fools out. But your heart is bleeding. It's a hole in your heart, and you ain't going to ever feel it. Being real. If you ever bought into a team and you had to fight that same team and then all of a sudden go back to work the next day like, yay, everything's good. We gave you your money. Aren't you happy? Money doesn't buy everything. That relationship is damaged. You know what it is. And it looked like he spent all his money already. Jesus, how much shit you got? When you are rich, and look, I'm guilty of this, so this is the only reason I have advice now, because I was dumb too. When you are rich, just be rich. You ain't got to look rich. It doesn't matter. Come back to the house. You know I'm rich. Come on my boat. You know I'm rich. Whatever you got to do. But the whole every day, every way rich, that's just ghetto. That's just broke. That's just poor. Anyway, you fighting. You showing them who you are. In your heart and your mind. These fools should have never, ever doubted me. They should have gave me my money as soon as I said hello. Then you blow out your knee. And boy, when you blow out your knee, as a football player, let me just tell you something. You go to dark places, deep dark places, lonely places, places that are even lonelier because you just fought with your team. And those are probably your closest friends or associates to a large degree. And those are the people you're going to see every day. And all of a sudden now they coming up to you while you down and lonely. Oh, man, you going to be good? You good? How's it going? How to rehab? All that. Now you care? Coming out saying all this stuff in public. Oh, we really miss Aiyuk and other. It's twisted. I know people don't really look at it like this. It's twisted. And then while you got to go through rehab, everybody you see, all of a sudden you lose your pecking order. You ain't nothing but the little tap on the shoulder while they walk by you. Oh, man, get better, babe. Get better, big dog. You good. Everybody moving on. They doing what they got to do. So there is a world where when you come out of that darkness, if you're out of it, that you're thinking, I need to be somewhere else. Because you always think when it's dark, I need to go somewhere else and find the light. Instead of just staying there and turning the lights on. There's a light switch in there. How did it get dark in there? Turn it back on. So that's the tough part. A lot of people run from their problems, right? It's easier to blame than it is to address. It's easier to blame, we all are guilty, than it is to address. So instead of addressing it, because now you got to deal with 53 dudes, you got to deal with the GM who you already know what he said. You've been cheated on before. I don't care what they say from that point on. It always is in contrast to they lied to you before. Every word. Oh, okay, you going? And then y'all going bowling? Oh, y'all going to go bowling till 4 in the morning? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And then you see him the next day. Okay. Yeah. You throw a strike? So I think Aiyuk is somewhere in that space. I think maybe his agent is telling him, hey, you go anywhere and get $26 million or $30 million. You go anywhere. Something like that. I don't know. But I know he went to a dark place. Simple as that. Beat it up in the comments. Let's see what y'all talking about. And let's move on to this next topic where, once again, Tony Romo, you better duck. The industry is on your head. I don't know why. Please tell me if Tony Romo sucks, because I don't think he does by far. But this is such a subjective conversation, people. He sucks. He's great. He sucks. He's great. What? Find something better then. I don't know. Let me know. Okay. Sean M., he got another super chat. Oh, he gave me the black hearts. I still respect you. Peace. Respect to you too, big dog. Love it. Appreciate you, brother, for real. All right. So we ain't got to battle. Because I battle anybody. I don't care who you tell. I excel. They are fail. See, I don't know that part. See, I told you I don't know lyrics. I don't know that part. The bells. All right, here we go. Media Corey says, I tore mine my junior year, first quarter. I already had 8 tackles. I was a corner. Hey, did you get depressed is the conversation. But I hear you, brother. I never tore my knee, thank God. But, every other body part, but not my knee. My knee's been good. All right, let's see if Tony Romo's been good. Let's hear it.
Here's the thing about it with CBS. I have too much respect for CBS Sports President David Burson and his team, their producer Jim Rickoff, to say that they don't know that there's an issue with Nance and Romo. I mean, you look at the history. A few years back, Sean McManus was the chairman of CBS Sports. He went down to see Romo to try to get him to improve. Since then, they had the awful Super Bowl call at the end of the game where Romo talked way too much at the end on the overtime win for the Chiefs. Then last year, Nance messed up the final call on the interception in the Buffalo game. If you listen to this broadcast, it was disjointed. Romo had a good...
What? It's one thing to be upset, one thing to be hurt, one thing to be disturbed, one thing to be perturbed. But when you got to give an account like that, like you ever like been mad at stuff, and then when you look back, obviously you're not as mad at it now, but then somebody have to tell you what you were mad at. You're like, really? I was mad at that? I ain't even tripping. Like, what? No, the Super Bowl call, that one time you talked too long. And I'm like, this is what we got on Romo? And some of that sounded like it was on Jim Nance. I'm listening.
Spot at the end of the first half where he called the touchdown. He makes a lot of predictions, so you're going to get some right, but that one he did, and you got to give him credit there. But just overall, if CBS had a Super Bowl this year, would they feel really confident about going into it? I mean, again, the executives there, they've been doing a long time. They do a great job. CBS has tremendous production overall. I find it hard to believe that they would be like, oh, we're super confident in this team.
I don't even want to spend much time on that. I'm giving it more oxygen than it needs. That is weak. Not saying he's weak. That's weak. That's a weak story right there. I think somebody's got it out for Romo. Somebody inside, somebody media, somebody with some sway is like on Romo's other side, because they're exaggerating the issues, because you can do this to every announcer, every one of them. Tom Brady, oh man, he talking like Captain Cliche still. He's still a brand. Greg Olsen, this is not your son's football game. Can you calm down? Like everybody, you could do that. Everybody. Marcellus, can you stop talking so long-winded and then having this rap Tourette's that you have and you just go and speak? Stephen A. Smith, can you have one voice? Can you have one way of being? Can you remember the players' names? Can you not, like, Skip Bayless, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? Just say you don't like the dude, and then we could, oh, okay. Now let's talk through it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, some situations you can't talk through. The Golden State Warriors have shown through history that they gangster. Is Klay Thompson still there? They don't give a damn. They can make it happen if they want to make it happen. Well, Jonathan Kuminga, you found out the hard way, even though you should have known. Let's go.
What could happen to him, by the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the demand, I'm aware of that. I think when you in terms of demands, when you make a demand, there needs to be demand.
Did y'all catch that line? If you're going to make a demand, there needs to be a demand. That is the most gangster line ever spoken.
Market, so we'll see where that unfolds. But Bird, always with these guys, I tell them I'm willing to work with them. Want to help people out, whether that's JK or any player on a roster. So we're good with, that's his wishes, trying to figure that out. But we got to do what's best for our organization. That's what we'll do. As far as it goes with the deadline coming up. I think we'll take the next couple of weeks to assess this team a little bit more. I felt pretty good with where we're at heading into last night's game in terms of what we need to do. I thought our team was playing really well, heading in the right direction. Obviously, things have changed. So
yes, they have.
I want to take a couple of weeks here to watch these games and see our team and what we can do better.
Yeah, it's a bad time to have a demand. Blah, blah, blah. Jimmy Butler, who I've seen a couple times recently. No mas. It's crazy. Like you over there trying to flex, and your flex can't just be like unilateral. It just can't be in front of you. It can't be just this. It has to be all of that. If you're going to flex on me, you got to be able to deal with all of this too. And right now, are the trade wins in your face or are they at your back? So we'll see what happens with Kuminga. That's just a little taste to let you guys know we're going to go there sooner than later and get into it. All right, love to y'all. Now let's get into Stephen A. Smith. Woo! He's talking about DJ Moore. Y'all know who DJ Moore is, the guy who ran the wrong route or the right route, or it was a bad throw. I don't know what happened, Caleb Williams. Talk to me. But before we do that, we got to beat up in the comments, see what y'all talking about. Who's number 3 today? Lazy Engineer Thought says, what did Golden State think would happen when they started the season on a 35 and up roster? Well, yeah, Clippers are old. They are old. Lakers are actually surprisingly younger, even though LeBron is 41. But, Luka offsets that. Austin Reeves, etc. So Yeah, you got to think like that. Oh, man. And Fried Bryce, talking about Brandon Aiyuk, said this guy's going to be on the outside the lines in 20 years as a homeless guy. I don't wish that on anybody, but I certainly understand what you're saying, big dog. Yeah, it's kind of wild right there. All right, let's get into this. What's going on? DJ Moore, you don't want to smoke?
In his post game, he said, we had a miscommunication, he didn't cut it right and everything else. I hated the play call, but he went to the media and he explained, what in fact happened. Everybody wants to ask him the question. Do you know DJ Moore was not in his locker after the game? Did you know DJ Moore, the next day in Chicago, didn't show up?
Damn.
So nobody in the Chicago media had a chance. DJ, he's making $1 billion. They got him from Carolina. They gave him a huge contract. Hey, DJ, part of being a professional, we've seen this too much. We saw Mark Andrews do this. We've seen Diggs do this. It drives me crazy, okay? When you are in a situation where you are responsible or had something to do with a game-ending play in the playoffs, and you have 2 chances to meet the media after a game, you got to show up.
Well, I'm going to tell you why they don't show up. And this is going to come out maybe a little insensitive, but you guys have given them a nice mattress to lie on and also some warm milk and cookies. Look, mental health is a real thing, but when mental health started to have prominence in our country in terms of conversation, a lot of people jumped in and didn't deserve to be on that wagon, right? You got to look at mental health like you got to look at physical health in terms of, are you doing the things that are necessary to have a healthy mind, healthy body? You can't talk about physical health and then your ass don't go to the gym. You eat all day, every day, including right before you go to bed. Nothing but carbs, nothing but simple carbs too, not even the complex, and just all bad, and then be like, oh, my health. That's why we so obese. We obese because we don't have the discipline. It's okay. Just admit it. Same thing with mental health. I don't want to hear somebody say, I couldn't talk to the media because of mental health. No, you couldn't talk to the media because you scared you can't look at your Twitter, your ex. I got to shut down my gram. Well, you don't need the gram. You need to be a responsible leader of a team. You also need that paycheck, and you also don't need to bring unnecessary heat to you or to the team. Answer the damn question. You're already messed up more than this is going to be. You didn't run the route, or you did run the route. The hard part's behind you. This is the easy part. People talking shit. Y'all raise some auntie behavior. These aunties raising these dudes.
You got to show up and give us 5 minutes. Just answer a question. What happened in that last play? It's the game. It's the season. We know football for 9 months, and DJ Moore doesn't show up. And we've seen too many of these athletes don't talk after they make a mistake. And Andrews last year, same thing for the Ravens against Buffalo. Never showed up. He gave us an email account 7 months later, which nobody cares about. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, show a little respect to the fan base who sat there in 5-degree weather for 4 hours, who are dying to know what occurred, and tell them, you know what, I made a mistake. I didn't run the right route. Give us something. That is number 2.
Yeah, I didn't love that either.
Week 18, Tyler Loop, Ravens rookie, misses the field goal, stood there.
Absolutely.
Answered every question, ate it, and then went on his way.
To be fair, the kickers always stand there and answer the question.
Go ahead, Stevie.
Not as much.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because you're an adult doesn't mean you know how to be a professional. And when you got guys that can't take it, that just shows. I mean, you got a lot of folks out here, and I'm not calling him that, but you got a lot of folks out here who are mental midgets. They just can't take it.
Damn.
In the case of DJ Moore, 4 years, $110 million, $82.6 million guaranteed.
Woo.
You probably ran the wrong route or whatever. You don't want to sit up there and own it. You don't want to talk about it. That's not good. It's not good at all. So I don't blame you for going at it. But again, I appreciate you bringing up that Mark Andrews did it last year with Baltimore as well. All world, everybody raved about Mark Andrews for years. And he drops a 2-point conversion, and then you got to put an APB out on him because you can't find him. Kind of weak.
Hey, don't forget he fumbled at midfield in that game, too. All right, so.
All right, blah, blah, blah. Couple things that jump out. One, Stephen A., you can say it with your chest, big dog. You're going to say some people are mental midgets. I'm not saying that about him. Why are you talking about it right now then? This is what, you ain't have to call anybody a mental midget, but if you're going to say it, don't act like you just brought that up right now, but it doesn't apply. Anyway, Mr. Moore, wherever you are, you're making it worse. Cover up is worse than the crime. Come on, man. This is easy. My 10-year-old son is learning that right now. so he can avoid moments like this, where it's time to, hey, as they say, you farted, stay here to smell it. You ever heard that one? I heard it once. It didn't stay. It didn't stick. But the point is, where you going? Of all people, you stay here. Where are you going? I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. No sense to me at all. Beat up in the comments. We're going to talk about these Chargers. They needed some help, and they got some help, including they are saying the worst football player in the NFL. We got film on them. I can't believe this. It's crazy. I saw some of them, and I was like, God dang. Hate to do this to you, bro, but you did it first. Oh, man. All right. Oh, y'all talking about Mad Dog. I'm going to leave you that alone because y'all talking crazy. Chris Fox said something interesting. Thank you, Chris Fox. What did you say? Chris Fox said, man, I'm horrible at reading these. What value can the Lakers get in return for LeBron if they want to trade him, really? We're going to get into that Lakers topic. It's coming up soon. So stick around. We'll figure that out together. Let's go. Chargers, you're on the clock. Oh, you don't need the clock? You already got you an offensive coordinator? Let's hear it. I said, let's hear it. All right, first let's see it. Where's the, this is what I got to do. I got to turn it up. Yes. This is a different, look at it. I don't know what website this is. The early line? All right, I'm late. Let's go.
Would get another job without a doubt, head coaching if he wanted. But it's interesting that he chose the OC spot with the Chargers and Harbaugh. I think it's a great hire by Harbaugh. I don't know how he convinced him to do it, but him having Justin Herbert to navigate, I think that's a great move for Harbaugh and the Chargers.
Yeah, we've seen this all throughout the years, right? The decades of the NFL. Some guys are meant to be more coordinators than they are head coaches, and I do wonder if McDaniel's that guy. You think of Norv Turner or someone, or Wade Phillips, why was someone a better DC than a head coach. I do wonder if McDaniel's that same sort of thing. This could also be a rehabilitation. You go to the Chargers. The Eagles wanted him, right? The Commanders wanted him. A lot of teams wanted him for their OC. You go to the Chargers. You be his OC for whatever it is, a year or two. Rehabilitate your image. Things go well there. You score 1 million points. And then you go back into the head coaching cycles. I don't think it'll be 10 again next year, but we know every year 6 to 8 head coaches get replaced. So maybe you need to wait 2 years, but that will give you another chance in a couple of seasons.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there because blah, blah, blah. They said enough. Respect. I love that. Now, he's there to rehabilitate the offense that didn't underperform fully, but certainly, let's just say they didn't play up to optimal levels. Well, one of the reasons they didn't, I want y'all to watch this. The worst NFL player in the league. That's a tough caption, but after you watch this, it may be accurate. Let's go.
It's been a horrendous season for the Chargers offensive line, and specifically their center Bradley Bozeman has been the worst player in football. PFF takes all snaps every player has played this season and ranks them among other players of the same position. And of his 865 snaps, Bozeman ranks 36 of 36 in pass blocking and 38 of 38 in run blocking. He doesn't do a single thing better than any one human that plays his position right now. You cannot be worse than Bradley Bozeman. Just really inspiring stuff. It's been
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Now, you can say PFF. What does that mean? What's all that? Whatever you're going to say about PFF, once you take your breath and start to realize that everyone gets ranked, then it's uniform. That means it umbrellas all. It doesn't take you out to put you in. It's like, all right, we're looking for this. This is what they do, and you do it the worst. Okay, we're looking for this. This is what they do, and you do it the worst. I don't give a damn what you say after that. That ain't good. If that's my son, I'm like, dog, this all season, I don't want to hear about no vacations. We ain't going nowhere. We got to work. We got to put in work. You dead last in both running and pass blocking? No. We can't do that right quick. No. All right. Let's get into this. It's a lot of drama since we in L.A. with the Chargers. Let's keep the drama going because there's a conversation about the Lakers. Now, let me give you a little backstory. Let's go there. That's the word I should use. Lakers. Obviously, I know a lot about the Lakers. I live in L.A. my whole life. It's impossible not to. Plus, I covered the Lakers for over 10 years at this same station that we're going to listen to right now, ESPN L.A. Also, one of my good friends is one of the Lakers Bus family members. Jesse Bus is my dog. Know all of them, but Jesse's my dog. We coach together, and then my son plays in his league, our AAU team. So, Little Legends, #1 in the country. What's up? So, long story short, I know a lot of this. I actually know more than probably I'm going to hear right now. And it's really sad. All I got to say is, and I'm going to say this because I think this is appropriate, money doesn't buy you everything, y'all. And, I mean, look, they're basically all billionaires now, basically. And listen to all this stuff that's going on. Not only the infighting with the family, but also the infighting with the franchise. It's just crazy. Let's listen.
Sounds like, from reading the article, that Jeannie Buss has been sick of LeBron for a couple of years. Is that fair?
Well, that's what it says in the article.
Yes.
I've written stories on this, and I don't think I've written it that way, right? I mean, obviously I wrote about when they entertained thoughts of trading him to the Warriors, and we wrote about this over the summer with Brian Windhorst of sort of, you know, there's a tension there, and they're kind of need to turn the page to Luka, et cetera. Baxter put a lot of facts and details on that. I don't have any reason to dispute what he wrote, you know. My view of all this is always through the lens of how Jerry Buss had relationships with Magic Johnson, how Jerry and Jeannie had their own individual relationship with Kobe Bryant. And those relationships were partnerships. And I don't think the partnership with LeBron James ever kind of fell into the same category as the way those first two. When you're a business partner, like when you rise together, you rise together.
Sure.
When you fall together, you fall together. Like you make a Westbrook trade, it's not one person's fault. We all decided to do this. Everybody takes it, you know? Right? Like that's kind of how it's supposed to be. You know,
but I guess the idea of that article, Momo, is
Yeah.
that they did everything they could to cater to LeBron. And Jeannie at some point got tired
I don't
of
think anyone would dispute that.
got tired of the influence of Clutch and LeBron James on the direction of the organization, particularly with the Westbrook trade, which it sounds like LeBron was one of the guys that insisted on it. That on top of that, there's an egocentric thing going on with LeBron. He wasn't grateful, according to this article, that the Lakers actually drafted Bronny. There's like they almost didn't sign him to an extension, I think, in 2022. I mean, what is the relationship now between LeBron and Jeannie Buss?
I don't think there's Rich Baltz says a lot about
he does.
how things are on his podcast, and it's out in the open for everyone to hear. He wasn't at Luka's press conference. It doesn't probably feel good to him that they're turning the page and he's not really getting to decide how his Laker tenure ends. You know, they just replaced him.
Yeah,
and it's like,
right.
okay, the new guy's here, and then, you know, it's been nice having. I mean, it's, you know, I don't think that feels good for him. But I will say, I heard him on the broadcast last night, and he talked to Mike Trudell, and he was saying how great it was that Luka. It's nice to see Luka be named an All-Star and to get that patch on his jersey. And like, I feel like LeBron is trying to say the right things right now.
Yeah, it sounds.
All right, blah, blah, blah. If you guys are really listening, keenly listening, and there's more to it than just that, if you're really listening, you can hear what's going on, okay? There's this list of things that came from the article as well. You know we can't read a whole article, but we'll get the videos and get some summations going. So Jeannie Buss began to turn on LeBron James years ago, per Mr. Baxter, Russ Baxter, we were talking about the reporter, grumbled about James' outside ego. Felt Clutch exerted too much control. Didn't like how LeBron was considered a savior. Lack of accountability over the Westbrook trade. Privately mused about not giving him a contract extension and even trading him. Felt LeBron was not grateful the Lakers drafted Bronny. Begrudgingly gave him a contract extension, fearing a bad PR hit. So this is a lot of focus on LeBron, right? And rightfully so. LeBron was it. LeBron came here to save the franchise. Let's start there. Because it was dark. After Kobe won those two with Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum and all that, it got dark. Kobe was getting hurt. Kobe retired. It was dark. Clippers had Lob City. Even though they didn't win it all, they had Lob City. You know how these kids act. Kids already had defected. They already went to Golden State. Every kid in L.A. was loving Golden State. Every parent was loving the Lakers. And then everybody in the middle was trying to go over there with the Clippers. That's where L.A. was 2017, that world. Then LeBron comes in here whenever he comes in here, gets his championship, but everyone abbreviates it because it's a bubble ring. All right, whatever. Now they haven't done it since, play-in tournaments, all that stuff, missed playoff, whatever it may be. But let's talk about the partnership. And this is the one thing I have as a grand criticism. And this is one thing I use whenever I'm listening to somebody's story and I'm trying to figure out, because I know there are three sides, your side, their side, and the truth. I'm like, I always use this. Like, tell me about you. Because anybody could spit facts and they could turn it to narratives and they could turn it into a whole different story to create a villain or create a hero. I'll do that. I want to know about you. Now, what I do know about Jeannie Buss is this. She was appointed by her dad to be the governor to run the team, etc. And she is. But if you notice how she's running the team, you notice that her associations have all come and gone. And usually with a cloud of smoke and a cloud of dust. Think about all these breakups. Whether it's Jesse or anybody else named Buss basically in that organization. Going back way back to Jim. But the way it comes out, the way it is, it's not like brother and sister love and we all gonna be family like it was created. Jeannie's still there. That whole Mark Walter transaction, you think that happened overnight? You think everybody in the family knew about it? So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I take it with a grain of salt how she feels about LeBron, because I know how she feels about her own family. And this ain't even me going in, y'all. I'm just telling y'all what you can read. Don't let me. And it's okay. But this is how it is when I've been in relationships, I've been in situations before where someone wants to be liked. Someone wants to be the hero. So everybody else, you got to be the villain. Right? It hurts my heart too, because it's like, dog, I didn't do that. It hurts my heart when it's like you're the villain in someone's story. You're like, no, you're misreading this. Or, oh, you actually have to be the hero so bad, so much that you just going to burn through everything else. Yep. So I can survive it all and save the franchise and save. What's wrong with LeBron saying he saved the franchise? I mean, maybe save is strong, but they certainly weren't where they wanted to be. And then they got there quick. And then they became relevant again in terms of Lakers peak power relevance. They won a championship and they had the best player on the planet. Now he's old, and then this is kind of gangster. Now this could be deemed sensitive, or this could be deemed like, dog, that's kind of funked up. She already did what she did to her family and the brothers and stuff, and they all gone. I mean, they all got fired on one day too. Not all. Jim been gone, but then the rest gone in one day, like a Black Friday or something crazy, right? Black Monday in coaching. But those are brothers. I digress. Then one day you just wake up. What DJ Quick say? One day he was chilling on a Ramby and Spruce. You wake up on a Ramby and Spruce and decide, I'm going to get Luka. That's all good. But you know LeBron going to feel a way. But since you feel a way about LeBron, you like funk it. I just think that was handled sloppily, if that's a word. You could have did that better. But you also could have did what you did with your brothers better. So, hey, you got the power. But that's how I read the Lakers situation. We'll go a little deeper because we're going to get some more articles and more quotes about how the family is broken up, because that's not what Dr. Buss. I got a chance to meet Dr. Buss many a times, interview him for hours, talk to him forever. Oh, my God. Talking about a dude that just, like, give the world the biggest hug. Like, he was just that wide. Like, in terms of, let's build this out. Let's share this. Let's make sure everybody a part of this. And it seems like now of late it's closing off for different reasons, different interests. Beat up in the comments and see what y'all talking about, because Barkley is mad at ESPN. Ooh, I wonder why. Oh, thank you, Abundance the Sun. Marcellus Wiley, that dude. Folks, blessings. I take that. Lazy Engineer Thought says business is business. Hey, I agree. Business is business, but you can't live by that. Now, it sounds great in the dictionary. It sounds great when you write it down. Sounds great on ChatGPT. You can't live by business is business, because you need people to be interested, invested, motivated, fulfilled in your business, or your business will fail. because the people are the ones that do the work. The business doesn't do the work, right? Like that's why people don't invest in ideas. You got to invest in the execution. Everybody got a good idea. Everybody. I got 1,000 good ideas a day. Then I talk to somebody who's really into it. I'll talk to somebody that really is about that life, and they'll be like, they shoot that shit down. Like, that make no sense. They're like, what about this? What happens when you hit this hurdle? Huh? Exactly. So you need execution. How do you execute? By saying business? No, you need people to go execute. So be careful if you want to be inhumane and just be objective about everything. You're going to have to need people. It's a subjective experience, the human experience. All right, Barkley, why are you mad at ESPN? They saying business is business.
How has the season been so far for you and the switch over, Chuck? You guys aren't on as much as I would like to see you because I can't get enough of that show, but you've also said several times, like, they're not going to work me to death. I'm not going to allow it at this age. So how's the transition been for you?
It's been great. And Dan, we've complained. We've only been on ESPN, I think, 4 times in 3 months. We did the first 2 weeks. We were off all of December to Christmas, and we're off until all of January until the 24th. I don't like that at all. What I was talking about working all the time, because I love watching basketball. I'm not going to do all these damn shows. That's the part. I'm not going to be on ESPN 1, 2, 3, Deportes, Nacho, Echo, whatever they call it. I'm not going to be doing all that. But I wish that we had been on more during the first half of the season. But I just checked the schedule. I think we're on Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. So they're going to start making up some of the days. But I wish in December, we only worked one day in December, Dan. That was Christmas Day.
Dang.
And we're only working one day in January, basically, and that's the 24th, and I think maybe whatever next Wednesday is. But I wish we had worked more so far, because it's been great. The guys at ESPN have been great. They've been great. But like I say, we'll know more after we get schedule heavy the last half of the season.
Blah, blah, blah. That's power right there. They were so scared of Barkley, and they were like, damn, they don't want to work? Oh, okay, don't work them. But, and for real, it's no sense to work them when you know there's some reservation about, hey, this integration. See, we were just talking about with Jeannie Buss. You're bringing in Charles Barkley and crew, Shaq and crew, Kenny and crew, Ernie and crew to ESPN, and there's some reservation of how this is going to go. There's some reservation of how this is going to look, how much we working. So you ease your way into it because you respect how sensitive and delicate this is. When we were talking about Jeannie Buss, it didn't seem that way with Luka to LeBron. It's like, I don't care about you, right? You don't care, you don't care. Plus, it makes no sense. So they eased them into it. It's going to ramp up, trust me. But they're also smart because they're like, you want to know why we ain't putting you out there all the time? We're going against the NFL. What's the point? You don't want something that big, something that has been standing on its own forever and killing it inside the NBA. Then all of a sudden you put on ESPN and they get smoked by some like 5th place ass NFL game or playoff football, let alone. So they like, nah, let's put them in a position to succeed. NFL's almost done. They only got a month left. And what did he just say? Oh, I just saw now we're about to, yeah, you are. Because we clearing the deck. That's all that is. So beat up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Man, oof. Crazy. All right, let's get into this topic because people in Buffalo are still like tripping out. We still got Corey Holcomb. We got to do part 2. Damn, we got some topics. We got to talk a little culture, politics. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. There's some spicy stuff still going on. So what y'all talking about in these comments? Yeah, he really said nachos, Corey. Yeah, he really did. Let's talk through it. All right, Devin Bell. Yeah, that ESPN deal is NFL as well. It's a lot going on. Let's talk it. Let's go, Richie.
Business. And when you have crushing losses where your defense has given up the lead in the fourth quarter year after year after year after year, It's tough. Terry Pagula, ultimately, he writes the checks, he makes the calls, and he decided that it was time for Sean McDermott to go. And why I'm so torn is because now you're looking at Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane. Did Brandon Beane build this team up over the last several seasons to give Josh Allen success? And I would say no. They lack wide receivers. They lack defensive backs. We can get into it more, but that's where I kind of have an issue with this. Sean is the life force behind the program. He was hampered by a bad team. He was handcuffed by a really bad team this year, and that's ultimately what bit them in.
Like an injured team, right?
No, not injured. I think coming out of training camp,
guys.
You look at the roster, and on offense, you have Josh Allen, of course, Superman. You have Deion Dawkins. You have James Cook. You have a couple other good offensive linemen. But outside, you have no talent. They signed Curtis Samuel and Joshua Palmer to come in and revive this wide receiver room. But we lost Stephon Diggs a couple years ago, and they had no plan. And they've had opportunities at the trade line year after year to make a move, and they didn't do it. I think 2 years ago, they brought in Amari Cooper. That didn't work out. Rumor was this year that they had Jalen Waddle teed up, but Brandon Beane just didn't want to get rid of a first-round draft pick for him. Could you imagine Jalen Waddle with Josh Allen? Right? They're literally on offense. They're one guy here, one guy there away. And ultimately, what was Sean's undoing? It was the defense. He was calling plays on the defense. They did not address the back end on the corner, safety. They brought in a bunch of guys who were great players 3 or 4 years ago. Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer. And when you blow these fourth quarter leads, you can trace it right back to the secondary. Every year, they're giving up big plays. They're missing tackles. So it's tough, man. I'm torn. I've talked to a lot of my boys in the locker room, and they're tore up too. They love Sean. I mean, when I tell you that guys really love Sean, they're tore up. I've talked.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to stop you right there, Big Richie. That firing was funked up. And I'm a Buffalo Bill for life. But I just don't think we understand what we just lost. He was a coach. He was a dude. I mean, you could see he was a patch maker, too. He was just like, look, we're going to get through this. We're going to weather the storm, pun intended, especially when you're talking about Buffalo, lack of personnel, whatever it may be. It's just wild that they thought he was the problem. How is he the problem? Or he's not the solution. And I think they looked at it more like, he's not going to fix this. I'm like, fix what? Some of the things is all on the players. All on the players. Real spit. Like, you could just look at it and tell. That ain't got nothing to do with coach. He messed it up.
Nick, you had 2 of those takeaways. Can you take us through both of those, the one right before half and after half?
Yeah, so, I mean, Josh is kind of a guy, his ball security, he probably carries it with one hand sometimes when he's out the pocket, so.
You catch that stutter, and this dude don't stutter. He's just like, damn, how do I say this? We in film session, and we like, this fool is reckless with the football. I mean, he eloquent and articulate. Like, look how he carries the ball. Josh Allen is horrible with ball security. He's so big and strong, and the ball like a little pea in his hand. He's just like running around like this. And he noticed it. And that's why he said, see color, hit color. I'm a shark about to attack.
I seen that throughout the week, and we kind of harped on it. And he did it today when he was scrambling. And I just seen the shot where I can go ahead and try to get it out, and I did. So then the strip sack, I mean, that's just me rushing the passer and just find a way to make a play for the team.
That's a good kid, a good dude. I don't want to call him a kid, shoot, even though he's younger than my oldest. Blah blah blah. But yeah, dog, this is the NFL. We saw that coming. What the hell wrong with you? Now all of a sudden, like I love when you got to get that press conference face up. You know what I mean? You got to be like, let me respectfully say it, because he likes Josh Allen. You respect Josh Allen. You know he a baller. But at the same time, you're like, dog, everybody got their weakness. And Josh Allen, one of his weaknesses is he run with that ball like this. That thing be like a kite just flying in the wind. You're like, man, if you don't put that kite up, too damn windy out here. Woo, woo. Beat up in the comments. We about to get into Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels part 2. We give it a couple more minutes. This is a 10-minute clip, and we only did 2 minutes and 14 yesterday. Let's get a couple more minutes in, but let's see what y'all talking about. Sal Perez says Josh has been doing it on his back for years. GM been dumb or lazy. Just not working out. GM has certainly got to pick it up. Mr. Bean, you got to do more. If you don't do more, our little window, and it's a big window. I shouldn't even say little window. Josh Allen's still there. We got a window, but you're going to have to dress it up now. Trust me, this ain't enough. All right, let's get into this topic. I told you guys yesterday I got respect for them, but I'm going to break this thing down to the very last compound like I'm in a film session. I'm listening to every syllable. Let's go.
So I ain't no tough guy. I ain't got time for that. I had a production in Vegas this week where I was on stage joking and singing. I'm the entertainer. But he has mastered a wickedly brilliant way to get people to clickbait what he's doing. And it's a very dangerous way to live. It's a dangerous way to live because the things he did during this week, he really played himself.
Okay, y'all inform me because I'm starting to hear like Corey's put pictures up of his wife, Anton's wife, and his daughter. Y'all know I'm not in the internet streets like that. Or if I am in the streets, I ain't in the alley, so I don't get it all. But beat it up in the comments. Let me know. Inform me because I think there's more to this story than just what I saw, which was the initial clip when it all went down. Then Anton's response, at least one of them. I know he did a bunch. And now this one. So beat it up in the comments. Let me know more.
Because he has nothing else to do but talk crazy and act like he's doing this and act like he's doing that. Homie,
well, that, you know,
thanks for not beating me up. That's all I got to say. Thanks for not beating me up, dude. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen, too, because that 30-day ban, then the only place they would have been able to go hear about it really was at his, you know what I mean, on his page, really.
Whatever would have happened, it would have happened if he was man enough to stick to his conviction of what he came here for. His conviction of what he came here for was to try and catch me off my square. And, you know, I'm a tell him and any advocate of him, and of course the people that root for what we're doing up here, I'm going to tell you this. Why don't you think what he did worked?
Talk to me. What you mean?
I mean, it's a few reasons.
Why didn't it work? What he tried to do, why don't you think it worked? Craig, I would love to hear what you got to say about that.
Well, here's the thing, right? First of all, because we're comedians, so we think abstract. So we don't hear words the same way everybody else hears words. We don't experience situations in the same way. So what he took advantage of initially was you were coming from an honest place. You were really trying to have an honest intellectual dialogue.
They said I disrespected him when I said he was kissing white people's ass, and he was exactly kissing white people's ass. And to this day, he still has never said nothing about the contribution the Caucasian male has made to the downfall of this nation.
Right.
Something doesn't sit right with that one. Okay. Obviously, there's more poetic ways to say that, Corey, than you kissing somebody's ass just because you haven't scolded them or you haven't held them properly accountable, at least by the clips I've seen. Because we got to be careful. How much are you watching to him and how much is he watching to you when you start saying he ain't never? Because it's like, dog, I have. It's like when my wife comes back from somewhere and she like, you didn't do any. I'm like, I didn't do it. No, I didn't advertise everything I did. Trust me, this thing is flowing because I did a lot. You just ain't knowing. So I'll be careful if I'm Corey in that situation. But I know what he's saying in general, just by your whole persona. When you go, it sounds like you're going in on the blacks. Go in on the whites. I'm assuming that's what he's meaning.
Right. And he said, I'm not going into that.
Right.
He said it. And people forget about that.
Good point.
They forget that he never answered that question.
Right. Get some.
I'm sitting up here asking questions. This man coming at me with some dick sucking shit. I'm glad that he didn't have the courage to say it when I stood on it.
I hate to belabor this point. But at the same time, like now we're just setting traps. Like, I believe that if you're going to be one of those people that you ain't going to disrespect me, if you really believe that, that means I'm not taking any disrespect, which means if you're really standing on business, the first time he said it was enough. That's all I got to say about that. That's me. If I got something, I'm like, this is delicate. You can't break the glass twice. You can't break the urn twice. I told you not to touch it. You touched it. Now we got to deal with you touching it. I don't tell you to not touch everything in here. That's why I tell my kids. I'm like, dog, y'all act like I'm telling you not to live. No, I'm giving you way more freedom than I'm giving you restrictions. It's like the Bible. The Bible is what? Thousands of pages? And it literally got 10 commandments. God, Jesus, like, look, it's 10 things you can't do. Everything else, go get it. You can have 1,000 wives, 100,000 kids. Like, you can do whatever. Just these 10 right here. Don't do. And people look at it like, oh, it's so tight. I think that's the same thing. Like when you're Corey in this situation, like if you draw a line, dog, don't redraw it. He said it. It shouldn't have been like, and people have been pushing back, and I understand this too. Saying you kissing white people's butt is not the same as you sucking a black man's pole position. And I'm like, I can hear that. I can say, at first I thought they are the same because it's neither one I'm doing. Neither one I'm going to do, so they both the same. But I guess if you are thinking about, y'all telling on yourselves too for y'all who push back on this. If you really going to do one, which one would you do? Or are they the same to do? I guess not. But now we in the weeds. Point is, Corey, you drew a line and he kind of stepped. He a habitual line stepper. He's not. He didn't do it twice. But he did it once. I thought that was enough. Let's talk.
I'm glad. I didn't have to call the lawyer in the morning and take that retainer over there, and I don't expect everybody to understand that. It's a lot of people who ain't never had to give a lawyer $10,000 at one time. But that's what they start at if you really want a chance to be heard in the courtroom.
Well, when he say he studied you, he knows this. Like, we comedians, we got egos as far as, like, we used to people sitting down and listening to what the fuck we got to say. So his strategy was to invalidate you. So no matter what you would have said, he was going to disregard it because he knew that would get you in a space like, nigga, what? So you
what? No, what to get me in a...
I do love the point that I didn't even think about it, and I'm guilty. I'm sorry, Corey. He didn't answer the white man, the white system conversation, which is like, why are we here then if we ain't going to talk? Like, you know what I mean? So that's whack. But I know that Anton probably came in triggered with that because y'all be calling him a sellout and all that kind of stuff. So he kind of like, man, I ain't trying to go there to give y'all more fuel, especially on your big ass platform where I know that your audience is going to really gravitate to that, right? Certain places you go, you just know they're going to gravitate to certain parts of you, right? So he didn't want to go there. So then it's like, what are we talking about then? And then you keep telling him he kissing their ass, and then he's like, well, let me return fire on that. So that is, and Anton is an intellectual. He is certainly living with that persona. You got to back that up. In that moment, you got to talk about that, or else you don't even have the license to return insults because you can't even return real rhetoric, real convo. Corey. All right. Touchdown, Corey.
Space if you start sex playing me.
Right.
Because I wasn't there until I didn't stop, like, fuck what we talking about. Hey, nigga. I don't do that dick sucking shit. I don't play like that. I don't know people who play like that. I'm talking about, it ain't nowhere where I'm from. I never seen whole shit like that before. Yeah. I never saw nobody do nothing like that before.
I mean, all right, we may stop right here. This is a good time because it maybe get a little more juicy later. You ain't got to see it for it to have the impact to, to connect, to know what it meant and all that. Why am I highlighting this? Because one, I'm a gigantic Corey Holcomb fan. I'm a fan of Anton, but I'm a gigantic Corey Holcomb fan. That dude is crazy funny to me. And to see him in this light, like to almost see the pregame analysis, if you had to see Anton going on Corey's show, it's like, oh, Corey gonna joke him out and then gonna talk some real, and then Anton gonna try and intellectualize everything, and then they gonna talk some real, and this gonna be hella productive because they coming from different places. Not even politically, just different dudes that are at their peak powers that can go together. And it's an interesting dynamic because I didn't have it on my bingo card. Anton Daniels is coming to LA to talk to Corey Holcomb. When I heard about it, I was like, oh shit. Because these issues need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed by people who have not only the intellectual capacity, but the emotional EQ, as they say, quotient. That means they're mature enough. And I thought Corey, knowing Corey, the way I know Corey, could go there, especially comedians. They just like, man, whatever. And Anton, because he's composed, I knew he could go there, but I didn't know it would go there. So crazy. And that's in part really why I don't take on challenges when people are like, hey, we need to meet up or one-on-one or whatever. I've heard it before. Ryan Clark said it one time. And I think a couple other people. I don't, no. Because I anticipate this. And I only anticipate this because I already see how you coming at me and I'm not even in front of you. When I'm in front of you, let me just tell you, I don't care who you've been in front of, this is different. I'm big as shit. Like everyone sees it. Everyone sees it and they be like, dog, I thought you were smaller. No. It's not like it's my height or weight. It's like, dog, it's real. It's a dude here. Like big fingers, like big shoulders. Like, and I don't even want to play that game because then that start changing your nervous system. And then look, if I'm talking to you, you know I'm talking to you. Because all of what we use to fight or what's up then, I don't use that. That stays in the same chamber. I got one caliber of bullet. I'm not doing anything else. I don't have any other weapons. Right? If we gonna talk, all the other stuff ain't for me. I'm not gonna raise up on you. Your family don't matter. You are in my sights. And so I don't like those challenges, but I do like the articulation. I do like the conversation. I do like what could come from it. But frankly, I don't think dudes are mature enough to talk. I thought they were. They couldn't even pull it off. If they can't pull it off, you think, man, look, I just see too many dudes thinking that one of the options is what's up. I could tell when I'm hosting shows, I'm hosting forums, I'm talking. I'm like, why you bring 98 dudes with you? As people were telling me, Anton, why you bring the security? Well, Anton needs security. I don't know if he always has it or he had it for this show. Whatever. I'm like, dog, I show up. It ain't like a badge of honor, but I'm showing up straight out the Uber or I'm showing up me. They were like, is it just you? Yeah. What am I here for? Like, am I got to prepare? Is this preparing for war? So, look, I'm 51 years old, and the reason I'm 51, thankfully, from where I'm from and what I've been around, is because my ass has been saved by grace and mercy, part one, thank you, God. And two, when he said it's on you, Wiley, guess what I said with my free choice? Choo, 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 choo. I maneuver. I ain't going nowhere where I think there's smoke. Nope, I'm coming home to my kids. Funk you. Oh, you a punk. Yep, punk daddy. Are you weak? Yep, weak daddy. Shit. Dog, I have seen people get blasted, and I'm not even trying to joke. I'm not even trying to be gangster. I'm talking about, damn, he dead. Why he dead? Because he wasn't scared of the smoke. Okay. Hey. I had a bad joke right there, but I was going to say it. Fuck it, I am going to say it. Ask him how you feel now. Stupid. People want, all right. What they say? Play silly games, get silly prizes. Man, immature. Grow up, peoples. Grow up. Oh, up. All right, what should we talk about? Oh, I think we need to talk about this. We kind of on this topic. It's kind of like Anton Daniels kind of sparked this. Remember we were talking about Ludacris and Nelly? They both were doing a tour that it was with a bunch of like Kid Rock and all those guys. And I was like, man, you can't even do a country tour. Like if you do it, you a sellout. But if you don't do it, then where are opportunities? Why y'all hating on us? Why y'all being racist? You can't win in this world. That's why you just got to do you. Well, let's just say one of them, Ludacris, did him. He said, you really need that money that bad? People are asking. So Ludacris backpedaled out of the headline and MAGA tour with Nelly as fans start filling in the blanks. Atlanta Black Star News. I don't know anybody that works there, but let me just tell you, y'all doing your people a disservice. This is a horrible headline. Horrible. You have now help pressure Ludacris, where he has to get out of a major tour that you call MAGA tour. Call it what you want, but it's major. And I don't know if he got to get the money back or whatever it may be, but the opportunity is never going to come back. That could have opened up different doors for him because the last time I checked, Ludacris made all them albums and they were insanely great. He made all them songs which were insanely great. But he was known to this generation as Fast and Furious. And if you know anything about Fast and Furious, that was started by Vin Diesel and Samantha Vincent Vin Diesel. That's where it comes from. And they're one race productions. That's what it's called. Excuse me if it's not one race, but that's what it is. It's about them. You know, they're like, we don't play all that racial stuff. That's like literally the production company. That's literally the bosses. He's known for Fast and Furious. Okay? These kids ain't walking around throwing bowls, Cadillac grills. We are, but we ain't feeding them like that. Fast and Furious is feeding them probably more than he ever made of any of them albums. And then he gets to go and side gig it with an album, a concert, and he gets hated on. Worse, he caves to the hate. So therefore, now stay in your little box. Little black man, you better act like you know them white people ain't throwing bowls. Yeah, they are. I've seen Ludacris perform at Super Bowl parties. Let's just say the Super Bowl parties ain't all black. And they throwing bowls. Limited. I guess everybody wants the limited edition of black man, huh? Brothers, y'all got to start being stronger, dog. Y'all weak. Y'all can't talk to each other without y'all talking about suck a dick, eat his ass, I'll whoop your ass, white people. And people be thinking I'm weak. No, sure, no weak. No stupid either. Invite me to the MAGA, whatever the hell. Well, they already invited me to the White House, so, and you saw I went twice, and we'll go again. I dare you. Talk about me. I don't care. That's just, and you better hope it ain't no wind, because you spitting in the wind. You ain't gonna talk me out of nothing I want to do. No, sure, not me. And I hope y'all have the same power and freedom. If you don't, take the chains off. Take the chains off of your funking head. Take the chains off. All right, last topic. Maybe last topic. I don't even know. We in a lot of this racial stuff. Yeah, I got to do this one real quick. Ice-T had to respond to this lady. He said, let me just go through it. That's Ice-T. Man, Ice-T from L.A. too. Crenshaw, right? All that world. He from my neighborhood. Yeah, I know Ice-T. I know that Mariners hat. Yeah, and that's his wife, Coco. Everybody know her. So Ice-T writes, hope you had happy MLK Day. Some things never change. Martin Luther King, I mean, this is what's crazy. When you were a kid, you learned about Martin Luther King. You never thought that he was like a 30-year-old, a 26-year-old, this was happening while he was a little young dude, like a young man. He got swag. He getting sweated right there, but I never thought of him in that light, but obviously I should have. And then this lady who's a former teacher, and she's also a switch Democrat to Republican. They were going in on her. You are married to a whole white woman and talking about some things never change. Now, on the surface, that's kind of interesting. And he says, wow, I have no words for this bitch. Shake my head, right? What I got to say about that is he said some things. God dang, lady, she was so triggered. She was so prepared. She was so gotcha that she wanted to get him. You married to a white woman. How dare, I'm going to disqualify you. It's okay. Just read. You can disqualify me all you want. You can be as smart as you want if you know how to read. I said some. Ain't much to say about that one. People just triggered. Let's get out of here on this one. Let's get out of here on Stephen A. Smith talking about my governor. What'd you say about my governor? Gavin Newsom. Let's hear Stephen A.
You're the governor of the state of California in the United States of America. Why are you over in Davos, Switzerland, talking to folks and speaking negatively about the president of the United States? I have no problem with Gavin Newsom being candid and open about his feelings about our president on United States soil. To go over to another country, Switzerland, to go over there and to be in the presence of other European leaders speaking against the president of the United States. I'm not down with that. Y'all might be. I'm not down with that at all. Say whatever you want here. As a governor from the opposite side of the aisle of a state in the United States on American soil, fine. But I'm one of those people, when we go somewhere else, it's America first.
Yeah.
You know, our problems, our problems. But we ain't taking dirty laundry outside. You don't go on a world stage to disrespect your own house, which is the United States of America. I don't like that at all. Not even a little bit.
Blah, blah, blah. Hard to disagree with Stephen A. Smith right there. Like, come on, big dog. I mean, what do they say? Most important in any transaction? Location, location, location. Where are you? You're over there. Now, I know messages travel around the world instantaneously by your phone. You could be anywhere. So it doesn't matter where I am. But it does. So as we're projecting, and look, United States, the reason we are the leaders of the free world is because of our projections, and then we can support those with actions if necessary. We project those liberties. We project our freedom. We project our power. Now, we can execute on it as well. But the point is, people import our culture, and they import the United States of America. They don't import individual states of America, right? They're not going to take Minnesota and not take all of us. They take it, all things that they see. And our brand has been damaged. And Trump is trying to redeem it, but it's been damaged because we're fractured more than ever. And we're projecting it. And more importantly, to Stephen A.'s point, we're promoting it. Yeah, we got problems at home. You ever been in a relationship? Any of you guys married? Ever flirted with divorce? Ever flirted with leaving those kids? And I know that's tough. That's tougher than the divorce. You can leave her. Them kids, woo. But do you go to school the next day at drop off? Leave your house and be like, then somebody say, hey man, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a while. Oh man, just dealing with this divorce. Jesus fuckers. And then you don't even get divorced. Y'all talking through it. Y'all ain't through it. Man, just, thinking about contemplating divorce. This ain't a hard one. Gavin Newsom, come on, man. I know you on a mission. And sometimes you get blinded by your own ambitions. He wants to be president one day, we've heard. Right? Right now he's taking a lot of water in because he's running California into the ground. We've seen. California is different. I mean, I never thought we'd be here, but we are, whatever. The homeless problem is just like insane. It's insane. And that's just one. Some of the corruption and fraud. We just need answers. And people are left. People left California like none. They're like, I love it, the sunshine, but them taxes too much. That crime and that homelessness too much. Y'all doing too much, and we are. It's hard to justify. But that said, and I know you want to be president one day. This ain't the way. Like, let Trump expire his term. Run against J.D. Vance and go get it. Like, come on, man. Because when you become the leader, if you are, of the free world as the president, don't you want to inherit something better than this? Well, then let Trump do him and you work with him. Internally, y'all can fight. Outside, as they said, mama and daddy, smile. Smile for the family at least. Smile for the pictures. Smile for the kids. Smile for your citizens. Come on, man. You do better than that. Whatever. All right, I left a bunch of topics on the table today. But you know how we always end this show. Something rapish, something sportsish. Let's get here. I don't know. Bar for bar. I don't know everybody here, so help me out. Help me out. Beat it up in the comments. Lyrically, who's the best rapper continuously feeding the streets right now? So this is a present day. Who got it going? Kendrick, Nas. Okay, that's strong. I don't know him, and I know I feel like I lost a lot of cred just then. I don't know him either. J. Cole. Freddie Gibbs, shout out to the homie. Just saw him not too long ago. Pusha. I'm your Pusha. Eminem, okay. That's it? Oh, feeding the streets right now? Eminem out. He ain't feeding no streets. He in. Freddie in. J. Cole, ooh, is that album drop yet or is it coming out? And I think they on a different tier right now. I don't even know these two, so they can't be. Nas just dropped, but I heard y'all was like, it's really good, but And Kendrick, it's been a minute now. It doesn't feel like it, but it's been a minute. So nope. It's either Pusha or Freddie Gibbs. I heard this album was insane. Didn't listen to it all, so I got to finish that. I listened to all of this, so I got to give it to the Clips. Got to give it to Pusha. All right, so beat up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Who is feeding the streets right now? See, feeding the streets mean you can't say Eminem because you ain't ate in a while. You know what I'm saying? No, he didn't. No. I'm talking about some real food, real dope. All right? Love you guys. You know how we do on this show. We take all this and make it happen. Make it happen today. Peace.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I think the